Hey friends, it's John Assaraf, CEO of Praxis Now, and the author of the 2 New York Times best-selling books, Having It All and The Answer. Now here's a question I have for you. Do you ever feel overwhelmed and stressed out trying to do everything in your business only to find that the harder you work, the less you actually get done and the less effective you are? If the answer is yes, what I'm going to share with you in this video is the 6 hats that every business owner has to wear and how you can only start to focus on what you love to do and what you should be doing instead of all the things that you are doing right now. Now, what I discovered when I was a young entrepreneur is I tried to do everything in my business, and I tried to do the sales, the marketing, the management, all those things. And what I discovered that there was too many hats that I had to wear, and I was only good at 2 or maybe even 3 of those things. So the 6 hats are the visionary hat, the person who's responsible for the vision of the company. The second hat is the engineer, the person who's able to put all of the nuts and bolts and pieces of the sales, the marketing, the management, the strategies, the tactics, the operations all together to fit into one cohesive system. The third is the marketer, the person who's responsible to generate leads, make sure they're qualified, and possibly create a lead for a salesperson, which is the 4th hat. And the salesperson's job is to make the sales for the company. But then there are 2 more hats. The 5th one is the manager hat, and that's the person who's responsible to manage the people and the processes and the systems of the business. And that takes an individual who is really into details and can coach people on how to get better and better and better. The 6th hat that every business has to have is the driver. And the driver is the person who's basically the taskmaster, who is making sure that the entire company is moving forward. If you're trying to be the visionary, the engineer, the marketer, the salesperson, the driver, and the manager, that is way too many hats. What I want you to do is to figure out which 2 or which 3 should you be doing, and then here's one of the best tips I ever got in my life from one of my multimillionaire business mentors. He shared this with me. Hire people who play at things you have to work at. Hire people who play at things you have to work at. And if you can't hire people, then you can barter with people, partner with people, or you can pay them at a later date to do the work that you need to have done. And that's called deferring the payment. So what you want to do in order to stop being on the treadmill, okay, of your business is you want to figure out the 2 or 3 hats that you should be wearing, and that should be based on what you love to do, what you're great at doing, and then you hire, barter, trade, or defer payment with people who can play at things you have to work at. If you like this type of content, and this is the type of content that you want more of, then all you need to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. Every week I'll give you some great tools, ideas, and resources to grow your business so you can achieve an amazing life.